My mom asked me to run to the grocery store to get something for dinner, leaving her alone with my fiancée, and I got a text 10 minutes later begging me to come home because my mom didn't want black grandchildren. Hello everyone. I am writing this to figure out what to do or who to believe in this situation. Let me start out by saying that I, 28M, am white and my lovely fiancée, 26F, is a black woman. We have an amazing relationship, and I don't want any other woman in my life. She is also the only black woman I have ever dated. My parents have always been supportive of me and I have an incredibly strong family relationship with them and my siblings, or at least I thought. When I was growing up in the Midwest, there weren't really black people around and the topic of racism never came up really. But I never suspected that my lovely outgoing and polite parents would be racist because they even donated money to an orphanage in Africa for like 20 years now through their church. My parents met my fiancée a year ago, but did not take it too seriously because I had a lot of girlfriends in the past and they probably just thought it was another girlfriend. Well, last weekend I announced to them that my girlfriend was now my fiancée on a family Zoom meeting. My parents looked a little surprised, because I did not discuss it with them before, but were ultimately congratulating me. We wanted to have a dinner with them in person to sort of let them get to know their future daughter-in-law and everything blew up. My mom forgot something for the dinner and my dad and I went to the store to get it. My fiancée texted me about 10 minutes in asking me to come back right away because she needed me and my dad and I turned around. When I got back she was sitting in my car, I still had the keys, and she was crying asking me to take her to our house. Of course I drove her home and told my parents I was sorry and my fiancée told me what my mom had said to her. Essentially my fiancée told me that my mom said she was not supportive of us because she didn't want black grandchildren. A number of other things that she was surprised my fiancé married up, even though I think my fiancé is better looking than me, but I am a bit more successful financially. Well, I confronted my mom and asked what she said and my mom said that she said nothing even close to that and that the only thing she said was that she was curious what country my wife was ethnically from and that my fiancé mistook it. Well, I asked my fiancé more probing questions, but she is adamant that my mom explicitly said these things. I've never known either of them to be liars, but the two people I trust most in this world are giving me completely conflicting stories. I want to side with my wife, but what if she is having some mental episode or something? Is it a possibility that no one is lying here? I need some fudging help. Edit, it could also be a mental episode with my mom, maybe, but neither have mental issues, but they can pop up in people's 20s like my uncle, so I just said my fiancé might have had a mental episode, sorry for the confusion. Commenter, I'm a white guy from the deep south. This isn't even a mystery to me. Your wife is not making up anything. Trust her. The ethnicity dodge is old hat and she's blaming your fiancé for her own racism by saying she was misunderstood. Midwesterners I personally know have a really skewed view of what racism is and often are not aware of how racist they are exactly because they do not get to witness it on a regular basis or be embarrassed by it on a regular basis. No offense intended. Donating to a church for African/Haitian/Latin missions is the most racist, colonialist, self-aggrandizing thing ever, by the way. It's a disgusting racist banner wave. My parents' church has missions to Honduras and an indoor basketball court for white kids, but won't do a thing for the poor blacks in one of the poorest counties in the USA. Anyway, apologies for coming across strongly, but please reinvest in your fiancée by being empathetic to her, and put down a hard line now that your mother's comments were unacceptable. Best of luck to you. Update. Thank you for those of you who reached out with good suggestions and such, I really took everyone's advice on this. However, I really didn't think it was fair the way I was characterized in the comments, because I love my fiancée and I believe her, but I also loved my mom and had no reason to doubt her either. It's really hard to doubt your parents when they have always been good to you your entire life until this incident. Anyways, I was basically completely wrong about this whole situation. I decided to call my sisters, I told them it was an emergency and we hopped on Zoom together. Well, I explained the crazy story to them and one of them just let out a laugh but tried to hold it back. Then I went quiet and we had a few seconds of awkwardness until she let out, "Are you really asking this?" Then she told me of course mom is racist. And my sisters agreed with her. Then they led me on a 30-minute rant about how mom would tell them not to marry outside their race, especially black people, because these marriages won't work out and no decent man would want you after. Apparently she told them this regularly and they all married white people anyways. The thing is that I am 9 years younger than the youngest of them, so I guess I was never included in these talks. She never once mentioned to me about race and who I should or shouldn't date. I don't know why I never received these messages. Moreover, I guess I'm just blind because they also told me I was the favorite child because I was the only boy. I assumed my parents paid for everyone's first car in college, but I guess it was just me. They were really mad at me for what I put fiancé through and not realizing things. But I feel like that's unfair because how am I supposed to know they were mistreated compared to me if I was just a child when they were in college? I guess the close relationship I thought I had was just an illusion. I told my fiancé that I was with her until I die and I don't care if they all cut me off and that I am siding with her always. I should have done this from the beginning because she is really not the kind of person to call people racist and I never knew her to be super political. After talking with my sisters I hung up almost crying, which I normally don't do. But I went and told my fiancé everything I had learned and we just held each other for a while. She is not really mad at me, but just sad about the whole situation, and we talked a lot about whether to cut my parents out completely or not. I know for sure we will not let them around our future children. Also, my sisters called me back and told me they are sorry they were so harsh to me, but I really hope I don't lose all my family from this. I also found out my dad has those internal Ring cameras, and I asked to see the videos from that day, but he told me they were already deleted or overwritten, but I would really like to see it in person for closure. Overall, I'm sorry for the storm this caused on here, but I decided to update just because I keep seeing alerts and messages from people. Maybe somebody will find this helpful. Commenter: I really hate that he says his fiancée isn't super political. As if being racist is political. It's not, being racist just makes you a jerk.